Hey guys, it's Sierra. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to just cover the books that I'm reading in 2025. I wanted to say January, but it's just for all of 2025. If you haven't seen my other video, I talked about like the challenges I want to do for the year, and I want to do like an alphabet challenge, but I want to focus solely with the alphabet challenge on Black books, Black authors. So I am just going to cover some of the books that I already have and books that I'm anticipating to read that adhere to my challenge, and also because I'm just excited for those books to come out in general. Or if they've already come out, I'm excited to read them. All right, so up first in February I have We Are the Dying Gods and We Are the Origin by C.M. Lockhart. Forced into a life of serving the queendom before she was old enough to deny them, Brandy was a cultivator of death and the queen's own blade, reserved only for the disloyal and the blasphemous. Crafted by the queendom and forged in blood, she was nothing more than a tool. She was never meant to have an opinion on whose blood she shed, never meant to question whose back she was pressed into or whose throat she was slipped across. But when Freya, the goddess of life and judger of souls, demands that she protect her rather than destroy, but when Freya, the goddess of life and judgment, but when Freya, the goddess of life and judger of souls, demands that she protect rather than destroy, Brandy has no choice but to obey her new orders. And while abandoning the queendom comes with its own set of problems, being hunted by the people she once called family is the least of her worries when the gods reveal to her an enemy who exists beyond the reach of their power. So with the helpless princess in tow, she begins her search for a way to fight this impossible enemy and save the realm from destruction. Because she is the wrath of gods, and it was foolish for anyone to forget that. Yeah, already sounds like an amazing story. I saw this on her website because I follow Chelsea, that's her name, Chelsea, over on YouTube and I think on Instagram too as well. I love her content. She talks about the publishing industry and just tips on writing in general. She talks to a lot of different authors as well. She has her own business called the Melanin Library, where she sells and promotes. There we go. Wow, why is that hard? So hard to think of. And promotes Black authors through her website. And yeah, I love her work. I just love her personality in general. So when I found out that she is actually an author, I was so intrigued that I had to buy her books. So this is the first one, and We Are the Dying Gods is the second one. So if you're interested in it, I'll put the links in my description box below, and along with the link to the Melanin Library to check out her business because she is truly fantastic. This is not sponsored, never will be sponsored probably, but I just want to hype her up. I'm expecting both of these to be 5 stars. I already love the premise. It's the only way I can actually read fantasy is if it's Black people in fantasy, so I already know it's going to be an amazing read for me, especially for both, because I love me a badass female main character who literally just like female rage, doesn't give any F's. I absolutely love it, so I'm really excited to read these books. So those cover W, so it's like W2 because there's 2 books for W. But yeah, so that adheres to that one. The next one is The Girl Who Smiles Beads. The summary is long, and I don't want to keep reading each summary, but I will put the books in the description box below. But I bought this book from, I think it was one of my thrift stores that I usually go to. I think I got it from there. But this will obviously cover T, and I'm going to read it off to the side in my head, and then I'll let you know. Yeah, reading a summary, this book is gonna make me cry. They're really heavy, and I prefer not to read such heavy books in terms of just like black African American tragedy, any of our tragedy whatsoever. I don't like reading it. I don't like watching it anymore. I watched enough of it, and it drains the life out of me. And the story is set in Rwanda. Oh God. yeah, I'm just know that I'm going to cry in this book while reading this book, because I watched Hotel Rwanda in school, and I've watched it separately on my own. I love the movie. It makes me cry. It pisses me off at the same time. It's just like such a level of anger that I have that I don't wish on anyone to experience, or just experience that in general. Oh God, this is gonna be a tough one. So I think this is in my May pile. I can't remember. I think it's like May or July. But thankfully it's later on in the year, because I don't want to start off the year crying. They say like it's very powerful, very moving, and it's, tragic. I don't want tragic, but I'm going to read the book. I'm going to read the book. I know I'm going to like it. I will say I'll probably give it 4 stars. That's what I'm guessing. All right, another tea book is Tender Beast by Lascelles Sambury. Yeah, Sambury. Yeah, I love the cover. I actually found Lascelles on YouTube. I didn't even know she was a freaking author. I just watched her content of her talking about her writing process. Like just recently I found her, like maybe like in the past like 3 months. So I feel completely stupid and completely out of it. But watching her content, I love her personality. I just love her content in general. She talks about just like the publishing process in her journey while writing. I love it. I actually love her. I absolutely love her channel. So when she said that Tender Beast was out, this was an old video, because I'm watching all old videos. I was like, girl, I didn't know this was out. So I had to get it. And I got this for Christmas. So it recently got added to my pile, because I was just like, I really want the book. I really want to read it, especially before I think the second book that she has, I think it's already out, but I think she has another one that's within the works of being released, or at least she's talking about it. I vaguely remember, but I feel extremely excited. I know I'm going to rate this 5 stars. I'm going to read more of her work. That's just how I feel. I think it's going to be truly amazing. I think this has been out for like a year now. Excuse me while I look, because I have no sense of anything whatsoever. $2024. Okay, so not even a year. Literally just like last year. I'm not sure what month it came out, but this was probably around the time when I was just like I wasn't watching booktube content as much, and I wasn't super committed at the time with my channel. Like I was posting videos, but it was like once a month. I wasn't as deep in it now as I am. So that's my fault for missing out on the debut and release date and all that good stuff and all that information. So even though I got it late, I'm still excited. I did not get the chance to read Blood Like Magic. I remember checking that out from the library, but I didn't get the chance to. Had to return it. So when I return my other books that I read last month, when I return those, I'll check out Blood Like Magic and Delicious Monsters if they have it. I think that's the sequel then. All right, now we're going to move on to a different letter, finally, and that is Out of Body by Nia Davenport. And I don't remember if I did a blog post about this back when I actually had a blog and I was writing it. I think I did. I think this came out last year. I believe it was last year. If not last year, 2023 at the very latest. Yeah, 2024. So essentially, I'm not going to read like the complete summary of it, but essentially 2 friends swap bodies, but the friend didn't know, and now she has to try to figure out why her friend has all these secrets against her. You know, she's hiding secrets from her. Sorry, not against her. She's hiding secrets from her. So she's trying to get her life back and back into the correct body. So very like supernatural-esque, and I love that because I love everything that's creepy and weird. So you slap a bunch of black people in a story with like a supernatural creepy setting. I'm gonna read it. I think I'm gonna rate this about 4.5 stars because it looks short, and that's probably what's gonna piss me off more is the fact that it's shorter, but it might actually end up being like the correct length. You never know. But that's just my anticipation from it. Excuse my fat ass water bottle over here. It was a Christmas gift too. But technically, I started this book last year in December, but it's going to be finished this year. So I'm going to count it for my January books anyway. And that is Little Rot. Did I say that correct? Little Rot. I don't know why it feels like I'm saying that incorrectly. By Okoike Emezi. I looked it up and to make sure I pronounce it correctly because I am such a stickler for that. Like I don't want to mispronounce people's names. Like I want to try my freaking best. If I can't get it correctly, and every single time if I try to pronounce it and it sounds wrong to me, I'll just go by their last name if that's easier. Because I feel like saying someone's name, like mispronouncing someone's name several times without even trying to make an effort is extremely disrespectful. So I'll just go by your last name. So this one, I've heard amazing things about this book. I've heard also confusing things about this book. They say that Emezi has very interesting books, and I get it because I read half of it already. This one is going to be the video for my Fiction Friday, so this one is going to be more in depth because so far it's already making me think about like 15 million different things and just like sectioning the video into sections based on topics that come up in this book because it's heavy. Even 123 pages in already, there's a lot to discuss, or at least things that came up for me. So it's gonna be that, but I'm anticipating to rate it. So let me just go say this. Before I even started reading it, I kind of expected it to be about maybe like a 4.5. After reading the first half, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's kind of jarring, especially with a certain character that witnesses a certain thing happening. I don't want to give it away, especially if you haven't read it, but even that part kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It made me very uncomfortable in the fact that the other main character, our male main character's friend, was justifying it. It literally irked me to my core. So I don't know if it's going to be a 4. I don't know if it's going to be a 4.5. This might have to be like an email. This might be like a 4.2, if that's even possible to rate a book like that. I mean, we can rate books however we want to, but it might be like a 4.2, purely because this book is so freaking heavy in terms of the topics and the concept and the guy in the room and the actions of these people. Like, I don't know what else to expect. I heard it gets crazier throughout the book. I just don't know what to expect. So we're going to see. So when we get to Fiction Friday, and when I finish this book, you'll see the video. You'll know my complete thoughts in my actual rating. So stay tuned for this one. Now let's move on to the books that I'm anticipating and what I expect to rate them whenever I do purchase them and when they do come out. So the first one I have here is The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery. Put it right here. And the summary is long again, but let's see how fast I can talk if you guys can understand this. In a fast-paced, sexy, ghostly adventure, a publicist at the top of her game must confront her secret mystical past. So the next paragraph, I'm just going to paraphrase. She's a publicist who has a perfect boyfriend, who's a perfect match to her, but she has a secret. She is a mystical practitioner who can tap into interdimensional metaphysical realm of dead known as El Intermedio. So she has a lot of hidden powers, and her old life that she buried, and she's looking to start anew. But then there's a grisly accident that is happening tied to her past, as Fonzie Harewood comes back into her life. Fonzie is a queer Latinx psychic from the South Bronx who's caught up in a love triangle with the ghost and his mortal ex. Awkward. That's extremely awkward. It kind of reminds me of, oh my god, which one was it? The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. Yeah, that very kind of like, ooh, this is kind of awkward type of situation. And my darling dreadful thing. Sorry, that one, not the Invocations. That's completely different. Can't remember what books I read in their blurbs. So Gwendolyn would prefer not to have anything to do with the ghostly drama, yet in order to get to the bottom of the spookiness derailing her life, she must face the demons she long left behind, or the spirit world will be unleashed, threatening her very existence in all of New York. The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery is a sensuous, funny, mystical adventure that will leave you spellbound as you keep the pages turning. So this is set to release in June 17th. So I'm expecting to rate this 5 stars. I'm really trying not to read indie books that I don't like anymore, because last year I read maybe, I'd say less than 10 books that I rated less than 3 stars, or 3 stars and lower. And yeah, I pushed through because I felt like it was going to get better, and it didn't. I need to listen to my intuition this year. Like, if it starts off terribly, just don't finish it. Like, just let it go. So all of my books this year, I'm anticipating them to be 4 and 5 star, like 4, ranging from 4 to 5, even if it's like a 4.75. That's amazing too. So that's what I'm expecting from this one. All right, going back, a book that already came out. This book came out in 2021, and that is When the Reckoning Comes. I've been seeing it on my Instagram. I've seen it from just other amazing Black booktubers, Black bookstagrammers talking about the book, and it sounds right up my alley. I love me like a Southern Gothic book, and give me all of it. I absolutely love it. So this one is a novel about a Black woman who returns to her hometown for a plantation wedding, and the horror that ensues as she reconnects with the blood-soaked history of the land and the best friends she left behind. That's just like the little blurb from Goodreads that they have at the top, but I'm expecting this to be 5 stars automatically. No questions asked. I mean, really talking about the reckoning, first of all. The fact that it's a plantation wedding. So it's already given like, ooh, yeah, I need some spirits to like come up and like revolts, cause some mayhem, some murders, unleash their rage type of thing, because they deserve to. They completely deserve to. So yeah, 5 stars. I already know that.
Also, this is not a shock that I would love this book, because one of my favorite indie movies is Pure on Hulu, and that's essentially about Lilith taking over and the reckoning of that. So I'm not that shocked.
All right, going back to LaSalle, I'm actually going to throw in Blood Like Magic as well. And I think we're going to rate that about 4.5 stars, because it's a lengthy book. And it's a duology. So I'm curious to see what else needs to be said. So when we get to that book, we'll get to that book. Next up after that is Bones at the Crossroads by Ladarian Williams. Let me put that up here. I'm so excited. I loved Blood at the Root. One of my favorite books. Absolutely loved it. For this one, I'm expecting to rate it 4.5 stars. That's just because I don't know what I'm anticipating and what I have in mind. I don't want to be like, ooh, this is exactly what's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then I'm automatically pissed and I don't like the book, which I don't think is going to happen. I think I'm going to love the book regardless. But there's certain things that I'm thinking that might be in there. So I'm curious to see if it's in there, because Ladarian posts on his Instagram, talking about the book. And there was one post, it was just like, I forgot what it was, but it was just like some images related to the type of the aesthetic of Bones at the Crossroads. And he was like essentially describing what you think this character is, like who do you think this character is from the images that he was showing. It was like images slash, real type of thing. And the character who I think it is, I hope it's that character. I didn't want to spoil it, so I didn't say like exactly who I thought it was, but I was just like, if it's who I'm thinking of, like I swear for God, Ladarian, I'm gonna lose my mind because I'm excited. I'm really excited about the book though. So that one is gonna be for both of them are gonna be for B. Jesus Christ. I need to find other letters. So I need to find like books for any other letter in the alphabet besides like B, T. B and T are like the worst ones so far. I can't find any other books. B, T, and W because I have both of Chelsea's books. So there's that. Plus The Reckoning. I didn't even think about that. So that's 3 books in W. It's supposed to be 1 per letter, but I can't seem to do it correctly, but whatever. There's some other ones that I'm thinking of, but I actually have some too on my shelf that I want to get to. So I don't have the second book for Children of Blood and Bone. So I don't have that one. I have Children of Anguish and Anarchy. So I'll probably be listening to the second one on Audible because I have credits. Can use that. So that'll be the one I'm gonna do. I want to finish So Let Them Burn, but I have to start it from the beginning because I just wasn't in the space to read it at the time. So it was like a softie enough. But now that I know it's by a Black author, I'm like, no, I really gotta read it. So that's gonna satisfy S. And I think that's all that I have so far. Yeah, I think that's all I have so far. I'm excited to find more, obviously, because I need to fulfill all my letters and I want to fulfill all my letters. I'm just really excited for these books. I'm ready to just really dive into more of like the Black sci-fi, Black fantasy, Black horror stories. Something Kindred. That's another one that I want to get into too. Dang it, another S. I don't know how to follow the rules apparently. But that's it for this video. That's all that I have so far. If you are interested in reading any of these books with me, you can drop that in the comments below. I would love to correlate that. We can do like a little mini buddy read or book club type of thing if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, and until next time, stay magical. Bye.
Alright, so here are some other books that I'm anticipating. I didn't put up the picture of Something Kindred, so I put it here in my expected ratings for the other books. I had been wanting to read The Queen's Spade for a while. I don't know why it literally like slipped my mind. But I also put up Megan's show With Love, Megan, because that is a show I am excited to watch too, because I mean, it's Meghan Markle. I'm gonna absolutely love it. But yeah, now that's it that I have for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to like it, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. We can collaborate to do like a mini book club or buddy reading. But yeah, and until next time, see you later. Bye.